Hello everyone, hello, hope you're doing okay. Chocolo here, but not for a video review. It's for episode 36, I think it's 36, yes, 36 of Look Back. Yeah, basically I look back at what I reviewed on the channel 5 years ago and a year ago, basically, because I've been doing the channel for that long now. I've been doing it for about 8 years, I think. 8 years? 7 or 8 years, I think. So long enough, basically, long enough. I just realised actually on the waiting screen, I still had the Stash Watch banner on for it. I mean, I've had that for years on there, and I've just never noticed. So finally took it off, basically. Basically it was, I could change it to say Look Back or whatever, but it's only when really I use Stash Watch, what have you. So yeah, so no, just didn't notice that. It's been there for years. So apologies for that if you picked that up. But probably you've just not noticed it yourselves, I guess. But there we go. So yes, basically, I'm going to talk about what I reviewed, I say, a year ago and 5 years ago. Probably start with. So I've got some various graphics now. I'm gradually getting better at showing these these graphics gradually. There we go. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm getting there, getting a bit better actually. Getting a bit better. So we did a couple of member reviews a year ago. So what did we do first? Did which one's this? The triple cheese Doritos, triple cheese pizza. There's a couple in the pizza range. Did a triple cheese pizza. So for those who want to support the channel, if you're a bronze member or above, you will get some exclusive reviews. Usually one a week, basically. I've done about 150 plus. Exclusive reviews now, and these are sort of things I've not published anywhere else, and generally things that I don't normally do on the channel, like crisps and ice creams and cereals and chocolate spreads and stuff like that. So there's plenty there. So if you do fancy supporting the channel, and also quite fancy getting something extra out of it yourselves as well, the bronze membership or above is the way to go, basically. But you can just support the channel if you want to. But that was one review I did a year ago. Did another one as well. As you mentioned, it's the other in the range. It's the yes, Doritos loaded pepperoni pizza. Now I've actually changed the wrapper to this to green. Actually, it used to be red, so I reviewed it when it was red. So I guess if you're a collector of wrappers and things, I guess you've got the red one. It might be quite sought after actually. And there's a couple of people who watch the channel do collect wrappers. But yeah, I guess it's because it was very easily confused with the chili heatwave one. But they do other green packs. I'm not really sure. I don't know really, but I'm guessing so. I mean, it does at that glance when I'm looking at it in the screen, it does look a lot like the chili heatwave one. But I think there's definitely another couple that are green and look like those. But anyway, that's what they've done. So I reviewed those a couple of years back, well, a year ago. Interesting ones as well, interesting ones. But yeah, so I say bronze members above. After, by the way, I will put all the links for all these videos in the description once I've finished. By the way, not there at the moment, but I will put them in the description. So if you want to go watch the reviews, that's the place to go. Now the reviews are slightly getting, the older ones are starting to get a bit better quality now. I've got like timestamps in them and things like that. Basically, when I started doing Look Back and I was reviewing 5 years back, my reviews were were but very early ones where they just the technology I was using and the quality wasn't the best. Nonetheless, it was interesting to see. They still worked, they still served a purpose, but they were just not quite the same. It's the same with everyone though, really, isn't it? You progress as the channel goes on. It's just the way of it, really. It's just the way it goes. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll probably go back to 5 years ago, I think, just to let's do 5 years ago review. Let's start with those. I think might be a good idea. No, I just need to find the other graphics now. Can I find these? Okay, ooh, almost. Hang on. No, I've lost it now. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's something. Okay, 5 years. There we go. Got it right. not quite as streamlined there as was before. But basically, it's hard for me to see the labels. Maybe I need to change those to be a bit more obvious what they are. But anyway, there we go. Got there in the end. So 5 years ago, what did I review 5 years ago? Well, the first one. Let's have a look. Yes, Cadbury's Dark Milk. Can you believe it's 5 years ago since this came out? 5 years ago. Goodness me. That's yeah, crikey. I mean, I guess because of what with the pandemic and things just sort of. Yeah, I guess that was quite a long time ago now as well. That was 3 years ago, wasn't it? So when you consider time, where's it gone? Where has it gone? I don't know. So what did I give that at the time? I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 basically at the time. So what do I think now? Well, these are still around, aren't they? But they've definitely, I don't know, I don't hear any. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't hear many people talking about a lot of chocolate generally. But I think people, still dairy milk and things like that crop up in conversations. But I haven't really heard anyone talk about dark milk particularly. But it's still on sale, so I'm assuming it's doing reasonably well. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Dark milk? I don't know. Dark milk. Not sure really. Maybe I'll do a little poll about it in a second. If anyone who's watching there can perhaps do a poll on it. What do I think of this one? Well, basically, I said there was nothing particularly Cadbury about it. That was the thing. There was nothing really that struck you as being Cadbury about it. And I reckoned it was probably a Milka rebrand. And I think it actually was, basically. Whether it's the same recipe or not, I don't know. But it was pretty much one. I did think that at the time because it basically... There was just nothing Cadbury about it, nothing special. It's quite generic and really just a bit disappointing. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I did since have the, it was the Ritter Sport, I forgot what it's called now, the really sort of crazy name. But Ritter Sport did a a dark milk one, and I thought that was probably one of the nicest dark milks I'd had actually. So there's definitely, dark milk can be done very nicely, and this was just a bit average, you know. And I'm tempted really, and I think I will, you know. I think I will. I'm going to mark this down, say 3 out of 5. I think, just because I think it was pretty average, pretty mundane, nothing special about it. You know, it was just one of those really. So we start to pull. Let's have a look. Let's see what people think of dark milk here. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, and how about? All right, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, if anyone's watching, there is a poll. Feel free to vote on it. Yes, yeah, dark milk. Not sure. Never. I mean, as I say, that one, the Ritter Sport one was really nice. I really enjoyed that one. And if you can see that one, but I think it was only a temporary one. It wasn't. It was a limited edition one, I think. So that was a bit disappointing, really. You know, I mean, it just, yeah. I forgot what it was called. It had a silly name like Bongo Ritter Sports. Let's have a look. I'll find it. Actually, I'll find it. It had like, well, I had a character name actually. It was like Jeff the Giraffe or something like that. Let's have a look. Let's have a see. I've got 32 Ritter Sports reviews, so let's see if I can find it. There you go. Don Choco, that was it. Don Choco. And it looked nothing like dark milk at all. You wouldn't expect it to be dark milk, but that's what it was basically. So well worth. If you see that one, definitely want to get. But I think it's a limited edition one basically. So we had this. You probably can't see this one. It's the Lindt Hello Salted Caramel bar or stick, like a sort of long thin bar basically. Yeah, an interesting one. This one. What do you know? I mean, yeah, I don't know. What do I think? It's one of those where you see it, and I don't think there's ever any excitement about it. I gave it what did I give it? I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Basically, I didn't give it much of a rating. This one. I said it basically had cheap tasting chocolate, which is not what you'd expect from Lindt, is it? You wouldn't expect Lindt to have cheap tasting chocolate, but that's what you got with this one. That's what you got. It's a very surprising, that really. So you know, so based on that, I think that's really going to be a low score anyway. But the caramel was was nice and runny, and it was nice and smooth, but it disappeared very quickly, and didn't taste salted caramel at all, basically, or not very much salted caramel. So. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5, and to be honest with you, that sounds about right, really. Almost, if anything, more like maybe a 2. But I think I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt and say 2.5 out of 5 still. Give it the same there. So I think that sounds about right, but definitely a bit disappointing, that one, especially with a Lindt product as well. You'd expect Lindt to taste quite nice and be quite interesting, but that one, I don't know, it just seemed to miss the mark on every level, really. Yeah, which is a shame. But you know, so I don't know if it's still around. This Hello brand. Yeah, let me know if you've seen that one. I'm not sure. I've certainly not seen it since, but I haven't particularly been looking for it, so it is one of those. All right, let's just remove the old score. It's an interesting one, that one, but yeah, not as good as well. Basically, you expect it to be quite nice, and it just wasn't that great, really. But an interesting one I did have was the Kit Kat Chunky. What was it? Salted caramel fudge. This one, yeah. So looking back on this one, I kind of expected myself not to like it really, but I actually gave it pretty good mark. What did I give it? I gave it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5. This one, I said it was really nice actually, and it really worked very well. You know, you basically, it was just like you were tasting salted caramel and fudge. You know, it really worked. But it was basically a bit like in the consistency of like the, you know, sort of Kit Kat Chunky peanut butter. It's like a bit of a sort of cream at the top, sort of quite a thick cream, almost powdery, almost from memory anyway. So it was a good alternative to the peanut butter Kit Kat Chunky, but just not as nice, basically. But it seems to tick all the boxes, really. I mean, fudge, I'm not a massive fan of it in as far as the sort of the very sweet, authentic stuff you get in these sort of you know, touristy spots in the UK, basically. I say touristy spots, no, well, I guess they are touristy spots, but you know, I don't know, halfway up. I don't know, in a national park or something like that, they'll generally have like you know this sort of thing. But this one, I seem to remember it being a bit more like fudge from, you know, Cadbury fudge, something like that. Not quite as sweet as those. Those are just too sweet for my teeth, really. Yeah. So for this one, I think, you know, again, I think I was probably about spot on, really. You know, I think a 4 out of 5 seemed about right. I think from what I've said, this, that, and the other, I think it sounds about right. So I'll keep that one the same, I think. Yeah. Interesting one, that one. But I haven't seen that one since. I don't think it's limited edition. I don't think it's still around. Mind you, actually, having said that, maybe I've seen it in Easter egg, so maybe it is still around. I feel I've seen it in an Easter egg. But again, maybe that's Yeah, maybe that's from a year or two ago. So who knows? Interesting. Yeah, interesting one, that one. All right, and what else do we get? Yes, this one here. Nestle Gingerbread Matchmakers. Yeah, so this one 5 years ago. 5 years ago, goodness me. So yeah, this was still around at Christmas times generally. You might see it sometimes, but it's because it's gingerbread. It's that kind of Christmassy, wintry flavour, isn't it? Basically, it's one of those. It is that kind of thing. So you do see it at that type of year. So it'll be appearing in supermarkets around now, really, which is probably why I reviewed it about this time 5 years ago. So it does make sense. Does add up, as they say. So what I gave it quite a good mark again. This one, I gave it another 4 out of 5. This one, basically said it tastes just like a gingerbread latte, pretty much. Yeah, but my problem with matchmakers nowadays is the packaging regarding Quality Street. Nothing to do with Quality Street at all. It really irritates me a lot. I know some people don't mind it and so think it's fine and just think, oh well, you can slap Quality Street on anything and it doesn't matter. But for me, it's not, because it's not in the set. It's nothing to do with Quality Street, really isn't. So it really irritates me the way they put these on their on these products, you know. So it's one of those, but nonetheless they've done it. But it really irritates me. So I thought the flavour was just a bit too specialised, a bit too nuanced, really. I mean, you could tell that anyway. It's a gingerbread sort of taste. You know, there's a reason why they only appear around Christmas time. I think people just want them around that time. And I think that's the problem with it. But again, it is appearing at that sort of time of year. So it means it does work quite well. Again, I think, you know, I don't feel like I'm too... It's one of those. It is what it is, and it's fine, really. And so I think a 4 out of 5. I think is probably about right for that, really. So about the same there for that one. I think it's about right, isn't it? You know, it does a good job of what it's trying to do, and nothing more, nothing less, really. So I think it gives you that. It ticks the boxes, basically, and I think that's fair enough. So yeah. So basically that was all we did 5 years ago, actually 5 years ago. So let's go back to, let's hang on a second. Am I getting rid of the right pictures here? Probably not. I think I got rid of something there, but oh, there we go. I've lost my, oh, there we go. Okay, there we are. All right, so 1 year ago, there we are. Yes, I've got to change the, there we go. Okay, we're all set. Yeah, so I did review 1 year ago. So I did about, I mean, basically, in look back, I do about 4 reviews for 4 things for each year, basically, roughly. Could do a bit more, but I tend to keep it around 4 just to not go too crazy, really, with it all. So there's about 4 reviews I did a year ago of the regular type. So this was the time where these, Quality Street bars appeared. You remember these? They're still around, but now this one, I gave it quite a high mark, actually. This is the Quality Street, the purple one chocolate bar. I gave this one a, looking off to the left because of where my notes are. Apologies for that. But I gave it another 4 out of 5, actually. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong one. I gave it although it might be a premonition, 4 out of 5. I said actually it was pretty good. I said the chocolate was better than you'd expect. I was expecting pretty poor chocolate on this one, but it wasn't bad. Plenty of textures and taste. But the problem with it was there's no whole hazelnuts. And I think if you're if you are the purple one, a sort of fan of the purple one, this kind of thing, I think that at the least you would probably expect is a whole hazelnut from it, and you don't get that in this. So I mean, you get chopped hazelnuts in it. Let's put it that way. You do get chopped hazelnuts in it, but there are chocolate bars out there with whole hazelnuts in, or even half hazelnuts. You know, this one is literally chopped. So I don't really think. I think that's kind of missing the point, to be honest with you. You do get the caramel in there, so but surely you'd want whole hazelnuts in this. And there are, say, other chocolate bars. There's those Milk and Maxes and things like that, even sort of the Dairy McCall nuts and things, that have whole hazelnuts in. So, I'm not a fan of whole hazelnuts myself, actually. So I actually preferred this. So it is one of those. Hi there, Poppy. How are you doing? Good to see you, Poppy. Good to see you. Yes, hang on a sec. Have I got the... So there we go. Yes. Hope you're doing all right, Poppy. Good to see you. Yes, good to see you. How's things going for you? Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having a lovely day. The sun's come out here, so that's not too bad at all. So, yes. New Halloween profile. Have you got a picture there? Oh, yeah, I see. Let me have a look. Hang on a sec. I can make it a bit bigger. I see. Good outfit there. And good, you're fine. Good to hear. That's good to hear. Yes, good to hear. What's the chocolate situation where you are at the moment? Anything nice? Anything nice? You're just looking back at what I'd reviewed 1 year ago, basically. Yes, the Quality Street purple one chocolate bar. I gave it a 4 out of 5, essentially, back in the day. I was saying there's no whole hazelnuts in, so while I prefer whole hazelnuts, I actually, I don't know. This one, I gave it 4 out of 5. I said it was pretty good, actually, and I said it was quite nice. I don't know. I think I'm going to, again, I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt and give it the same, I think, just because you know, but if anything, I'm tempted to lower it to 3.5 out of 5. I feel like the lack of a whole hazelnut in there is definitely divisive, really, and I think that's something to definitely bear in mind if you're a Purple One fan. Although you probably will be fine with chopped hazelnuts. I think it does appeal to more people generally, but I feel like it should really have whole hazelnuts in there, and I think that's kind of a bit of an oversight there, really, generally for that product, to be honest with you. So there we go. Now, what else do we have? Let's have a look. Hang on. There's another Kit Kat one, actually. Kit Kat Chunky Salted Caramel Popcorn. I think I reviewed this twice in a way. I think I reviewed it with, let's have a look. Popcorn. Let's have a search. I think I reviewed the imported one of it, and I reviewed the UK one, I think. Yeah, there we go. So I did, I think it was just a regular, I think it was just, wasn't salted caramel, I think it was just popcorn, the imported one, actually. I reviewed that back in a year before this one. So there is two versions. There is an imported one. Now this one, actually, I gave this a very high mark. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. I was surprised at that, but you know, basically, I said the filling. No, it wasn't actually popcorn in the filling. It was like a sort of flavoured, creamy, pasty sort of affair going on, a bit like probably the peanut butter in Kit Kat Chunkies. But I said it basically tasted just like popcorn, and the wafer in a Kit Kat Chunky actually filled the gap with no actual physical sort of physical, I guess you say physical, actual, maybe a better word, popcorn in there. So that kind of worked. So it really actually replicates it, you know, well enough. Obviously, it's wafer, not popcorn, but I think you can, you know, I think you can appreciate that that's a good enough substitute, especially in a Kit Kat Chunky. But I thought maybe it's a bit. I said, what did I say? Consistent popcorn filling works well the way for popcorn. So I thought it just was pretty good actually. But the problem with it was that the salted caramel parts, you know, was just a flavour, and there was no actual salted caramel there. You know, there's no you know, runny caramel or anything like that. And I thought it would be nice if there was a runny caramel in there somehow. And I thought that would make it better, and that was the thing that knocked it down from a 4.5 out of 5. So you know what? So saying that, obviously that's not appeared since then, as far as I'm aware. So, so I certainly can't bump it up a mark. I think 4.5 out of 5. You know what? Based on what I said, I was very impressed with it. Just the fact that there was no runny caramel in there. I mean, obviously, when you have salted caramel popcorn, the caramel isn't technically runny, is it? It's kind of just, I don't know, dried onto the popcorn, I guess. But it is sort of tacky, sticky. There's something there. And I think it would be nice if they actually replicated that in this one. So it's a bit of a shame that they didn't. So I think I'm going to keep it the same at the 4.5 out of 5. There we go. But still very nice actually. Very nice, that one, and I do recommend it for sure. Whether it would be nicer with a runny caramel is hard to say, but you feel it would be better. You know, you feel it would be better. Yeah, why not? All right, yes. So running through these quite well, actually, running through these. So yeah, what else do we get? Well, I got another Quality Street one. Now, there's a few. There was also the Munchies bar as well. I don't know if you remember. That will probably be coming up soon when I look back soon. Let's have a look. Which one is it? This one? Yes, the orange cream one it was. Yeah, was it called orange cream? Orange Crunch, that's what it's called, the Orange Crunch. Now this one, unfortunately, was definitely not as good as the other one. I actually gave this one a 2 out of 5, this one. So a lot worse, basically. And reasons for that was because, well, I was perhaps a bit harsh on it, because I originally remembered the sweet from Quality Street just being quite solid, actually. But it is actually a sort of truffle centre in it. It's actually got a soft centre. And I said this one suffered because it was a bit too soft. But that was a bit unfair, I think, actually. That was a bit unfair. So it did have a bit of a crunch, but it was soft, and I thought that sort of ruined the effect of it. All in all, it was okay. But that was my main criticism of it. But I think, I was a bit harsh on it for that, because I think I thought they changed, weren't really replicating what it should have been, is the gist of it. But that was not the case. So I think it wasn't bad. It didn't blow me away, though, but I think it did a better job than I gave it credit for. So I think, I'm going to say a 3 out of 5 for that one. I think it was better than I thought. So it's gone up, that one. First one's gone up today, I think. But it did suffer a bit, so it was a bit of a shame that it just wasn't that great. I think it just wasn't as good as the actual, sweet of this. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these. It would be nice if they just did a bar with segments that were the chocolates, I think that's what people would want from these Quality Street bars, rather than just something that's based on it. Just have, like in this one, you could just have 8 of them in a bar layout, all stuck together, or sort of drizzled with chocolate or something like that to stick them together. Why they don't do that, I don't know. And we could have done that with the purple one and this one, but they basically got a little formula and he stuck to it. I mean, he did a Munchies bar as well, which is basically the same template as these, but I think it was more or less the same as the purple one, actually, but with crunchy bits rather than chopped hazelnuts. So that's kind of what they were doing basically, just making a very simple product, which you can kind of understand. Hello, Luke. Great to see you. Great to see. It's been a while. Yes, not yes, yes. I know it's getting there very quickly, isn't it? It's getting there very quickly. And some of the lookbacks will have Christmas products now, really, and they're obviously all in the shops. It's really coming out quick, Yeah, getting there very quickly. It's interesting, I guess. You get all the chocolates now, so we can start seeing those, I think. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Luke. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I don't think there's any Christmas products today in the look back, actually, to be honest with you, surprisingly enough. But I'm sure they'll be coming thick and fast soon. I'm sure they will. So what was the says a couple more then for a year, 5 years, maybe one more actually. No, I think this might be the last one. Save the best to last possibly. Yes, the Mars Raspberry Smash. Yeah, this is an Australian import. This one, very well. Basically, I gave it a 5 out of 5. This one, I thought I wasn't expecting much from this at all. I really wasn't, and it just blew me away. Basically, it doesn't really excel at something specifically. It just works wonderfully well. It's got a big flourishes. The only negative from it was the wrapper's about this big, but the bar inside is about that big. It's just ridiculous, something like that anyway. But a lovely vivid pink. The centre was quite chewy. Mars bars for me are not my favourite bar. They're like a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. The regular ones, but this one it just had a lovely raspberry flavour. The texture in the middle had a nice chew to it, more than regular Mars bars. It was just a lovely experience actually, and it was one of my top. I think it was in the top 3 bars of 2022. I think in my when I did the top 10, or top 20 chocolates from last year. So yeah, this was long story short is there's not a chance that I'm going to lower this one. It was a lovely, wonderful bar, and I recommend having it whenever you see this one. Auto buy for sure. Obviously you've got to like raspberry. I wouldn't say you've got to like Mars's. They're not. It's not like a Mars bar. Other than the fact, obviously, it's got that template. It's got a middle. It's got a caramel topper and things. But it's just so different, and it works so nicely well. Those flavors. The different textures of nougat, which might be specific to Australia, might be a typical Australia consistency, but it was definitely chewier than it was in the UK. Not ridiculously chewy, but it had more substance to it. Lovely product. 5 out of 5. So it was one of the bars of the year last year. I think it was in the top 3. It might have been either 2 or 1. I can't remember which one it was. It was definitely in the top 3. I'm pretty sure of that. A lovely bar, this one. And as I say, if you see this one, B&M usually have it, not usually, but they do have it in stock from time to time. I've seen it this year basically. They did a toffee one as well, or another flavour, which was still nice actually, but wasn't quite as good. But this one, yeah, lovely flavour, lovely one. This one, I can't recommend this one enough. So yes, we'll end the poll then. Yeah, we've got 2 votes actually. 2 votes. of dark milk. Some people really enjoyed it actually. Look at this. Yeah, all the way. So so dark milk definitely. I don't know, definitely a sort of a silent winner there. I think you'd say. I'm not. I quite say. I think if you find a good dark milk bar, if you find a good one, it works. But I think the problem sometimes can be is finding that good one. Basically, I'm just trying to get rid of the. There we go. One by one, turning the lights out. There we go. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Yeah. So an interesting set of chocolates there. So we'll be doing a poll in the chat for which one I should do a short on. Probably the year ago ones. Maybe at some point I'll do the 5 year ago ones, but they're a bit because they're a bit older and stuff like that. I'm sticking to sort of the new ones, I think, but it might happen at some point. But yeah, I'll do a poll midweek or some point soon for which one I should do a short of. Basically, probably the Quadric Purple one, the Orange Crunch, the Mars Raspberry Smash, or the Kit Kat Chunky Salted Caramel. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, they're all winners, really, to be honest with you. And yes, I don't know. I mean, for me, I think my favourite would be the Mars Raspberry Smash, but the salted caramel popcorn Kit Kat Chunky was very nice as well. Yeah, so, but all winners, I think, all winners. But yeah, there we go. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of this live. Hope you enjoyed it. It's great to see you all again, as always. Yes, leave a comment off if you're watching after the event. Let me know what you think of these ones and what your scores are or were, or whether you ever had them, or whether you want to find them. I'll say be on the lookout for a poll that I'll publish at some point soon. About which ones I'm going to do a short of, so keep an eye out for that. And thanks again for watching, thanks again for all your support. Check out the member program, the link's in the description for that. It's great to support the channel, and you can see some of those member exclusive reviews that I mentioned: the Doritos loaded pepperoni pizza and triple cheese pizza as well from Doritos. You can check those out. As I've done about 160 reviews for bronze members and above. So yeah, definitely something to keep you going if you like my reviews. All right, guys, take care, have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now. See ya.